Okay, so what we're talking about today, we're still finding slope. I'm going to put slope real big so you know what this lesson is about. So let's review real quick. To find the slope, when you've got a graph, to find the slope, you're counting your rise over your run, right? Now, something that I want to make a note of. Your rise can actually go up or down, right? We've done it both ways. The run, however, we have got this fixed so that we are always running to the right. You know why that's always happening? Because where have I told you guys over and over and over again, which point do we start with? The one that is more on the left. So if I always start on the left, you're always going to be running to the right. Does that make sense? So we're always running this way. We might go up, we might also go down, but we're always running this way. Okay, if we rise up, that's a positive number. If we rise down, that's negative, right? This one down here is always going to be positive. Okay, so what I told you guys that we were going to do today, it's a little bit different than before, is now I'm giving you a graph that doesn't have points on it already. So you are going to have to pick 2 points. Now, you can't just pick any point you want, okay? Let me zoom in on this so we can really see this graph good. Probably zoomed in too much. And let me focus her so it's not grainy. Okay, when you were looking for 2 points, all right, you want to find on your line somewhere that goes through one of the intersections. When I say intersections, I mean this right here, all of these, all of those, all the way on the graph. Those are my intersections. So when I'm looking at this graph, I want to find a point where I am going through one of those intersections perfectly. And for me, what really jumps out at me on this graph is this one right here in the middle, right? Because that line goes perfectly through that middle intersection. So that's the first point I'm going to use. Okay, now I need to find a second point. There always has to be 2 points. So what I'm doing, I'm going to go up and I'm going to look along this for somewhere where my line goes through one of those intersections. How about right there? So if I go up through this, at this point right here, can y'all see that it goes through that intersection? All right, so that's going to be the second point I use. Now somebody else might have looked at this and said, I'm going to use this one. Would that be okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's perfectly through the intersection. As long as you pick 2 points that are going through one of the intersections perfectly. So these are the ones that I'm going to use. Now the rest of this is normal, okay? Like I said, this is the part where I'm making you do this on your own. The rest of this we know how to do, but let's make sure we remember. So we're going to start on the point that's more to the left. Which one would that be, the higher or the lower one? Lower one is more to the left, that's where we start. All right, now we're going to rise. How many units do we rise there? Looks like 5, yes. And then we're going to run. How many units is that? 3. Okay, so and then this is old news. We're going to rise 5, run 3. We're going to do 5 over 3, and then we're going to see if this in the calculator will reduce. Do y'all remember how to do that? You type in 5 divided by 3. A lot of times it gives you a decimal. We do math, enter, enter. If it gives you the same number, then 5 over 3 is your answer. Okay, so again, the rest of this part is the same. I am just trying to make sure we can pick our own points, because a lot of times I am not going to give you points. Okay, let's try example 2. Let's do one more together, maybe 2 more together, and then I'm going to let you guys try it. So the first thing that I'm doing, I'm looking at this line, and I'm looking for somewhere where I've got it going through the intersection perfectly. And y'all know what stands out to me? The one in the middle. For some reason, the middle ones always jump out to me. Does that not jump out to you? Okay. For some reason, my eyes are drawn to the middle, and that's just the one I always see. Now I need to find another point that is going through one of the intersections perfectly. So I usually start from where I've got a point, and I'm going to go this way. And I'm looking for an intersection. How about there? All right. These are the points that I'm going to use. You know, somebody else might have went this way and used that point. Okay. You don't see the one in the middle? You see it now. Okay, so if you had used the outer 2 points, that would work as well, and we're going to look at that. But these are the ones that I'm looking at. These are the ones that I'm using, okay? All right, so first question is, which one's more to the left? The higher one is, right? This one's more to the left. So we start here. Okay. We're going to rise down. How far do we go down? 1. So that would be what? -1. And then we run, how far? 3. So I'm going to do rise -1, run 3. I'm going to type this into the calculator. -1 divided by 3. Math. Enter, and it gives you the same thing, -1/3, so that's my answer. Now I want to talk about this. What if this human over here had decided to go with the outer 2 points and they didn't spot this one? I want to show you what happens. So from here to here, you're going to be rising how many? An extra one, right? So a total of how many? 2. So we would have done -2 on top, and then we would run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it looks like it's going to be a different answer. But if you type this into the calculator, -2 divided by 6, math, enter, it gives you the same reduced answer, which is why I want you guys to be in that habit. In case you pick different points than me, when you reduce it, you always get the same answer. It's because -1/3 and -2/6 are equivalent. If I take this one and I multiply the top by 2, I get 2. If I multiply the bottom by 2, I get 6. Way back in the day when you were dealing with fractions in probably elementary or middle school, they're just equivalent. All right, shall we do one more together? Example 3. Let us find some points. Okay. Whew. This one, none of them are jumping out at me. How about this one up here? That one looks like a good intersection. And where else? On the -2? Is that what you were going to say? Oh, yep, that one looks good. Sometimes it is hard to tell if it's going through there perfectly, but yes, that one is. If it's close, it probably is.
I wasn't sure because it was on the up and down line.
Yes, that's okay. All right, so these are the 2 points that I'm going to use. All right, and I'm going to start down here. That's more to the left. And we're going to rise. How many are we rising? Looks like 7. Okay, so I rise 7. And then I run 2. And then we just need to see if 7 divided by 2 reduces, and I don't think it does. No, it does not. So 7/2 is my answer.
I think those are the only things.
Yeah, it really does look like in that case, those were the only ones that would have been good ones to use. All right. We've got 4 examples on the back, so let's do one more together, and then I will let you guys fully take off your training wheels. Right now, I'm still pushing. I'm still holding onto the bike. On the back side, I'm letting go. Okay? But here we go. Example 4. Looking for points. Anything jump out?
4.
Yeah, that one jumps out to me right there in the middle. And then we need one more.
Right on the bottom.
Down here?
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Somebody else might use this one over here. That could work. These are the 2 I like. Again, you only need 2 points. All right, so which one's more to the left? The lower one. All right, so we rise how far? Just 1. Rise 1, and then we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 1/5, and if y'all will remember, anytime 1 is on top, this thing doesn't reduce. So 1/5. All right. Let's try the ones on the back. These I'm going to let you guys completely try by yourself. Picking 2 points. Picking the 2 points is the only new stuff. So let's see what you got here. The beauty of this is we might all have picked different points doing this, but when you reduce your answers, you should get the same things, okay? So I'm going to pick on a different person each time. In the back, not saying names. Can you somehow tell me which points you chose?
The middle one?
Right at 3?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Perfectly right there. Okay, and then what else?
And then the one on the bottom,
Lined up with this one right here?
yes.
All right, and on this particular one, I think that is the only ones you could have chosen. Okay, so we start here. That's to the left. And we are going down, how many? 6. Down 6 would mean negative 6, right? And then you run how far? 1? And then when you type this in the calculator, negative 6 divided by 1, it just gives you negative 6. And your slope can be a whole number. A lot of times it's a fraction. But that's good. Negative 6. All right, over here. Can you describe to me which points you chose? This one's got a lot.
5 and negative 3.
Say that one more time.
Negative 5 and negative 3.
So right here. Okay, so that's one of them. That looks good. And then the other one right here.
Well, it's down a little.
Here. Okay, I gotcha. Perfect. Anybody use different points than this? All right. Somebody, or I'm just going to go through and show you all the ones you could have used. You could have used this one, this one, this one, this one, anywhere. And they don't have to be right next to each other. Okay, someone could have used this one and this one up here. All right, but these two right next to each other will work. So we're going to start here and we rise how much? 2, right? 2. And then we run 1. And then when you type in 2 divided by 1, it should give you 2. Somebody else might have rose, I don't know how many, 4, and then ran 2, but it should still give you this when you reduce, right? Good. All right. This one right here? Okay, so right there at 0, 4, all right, and then? Down here, okay, wow, all right. So that one's got a big jump. This is good, but those work. Those work perfectly fine. Somebody else might have chosen maybe these 2 points. Or maybe...
I did the 4 and the 2.
This one here?
On the line.
Down here? What? This one kind of looks weird. I would say you could use this one, although it's a little bit off. I would say you could use this one, although it's a little bit off. Let's see what we get here. This one might actually be a bad one. All right, let's see what we got. So when you did it, we went down how far? 7? 9. Yes, I can't count. No, I counted wrong. That is down 9. You're right. Negative 9. And then run 1, 2, 3, 4. Your answer cannot be reduced, right? That would be it. Now, yeah, this one won't reduce. Now, somebody else, let's look at this real quick. Somebody else might have used these 2 points, and it would be down 2 over 1, which actually gives you negative 2. The problem with this particular graph, I would accept either of these. The problem with this particular graph is I'm not sure that point goes through that intersection perfectly. I don't think it does either now that I'm looking at it, but when I first looked at it, I thought it did. Okay? And I also don't think it goes through this one perfectly. But at first I thought it did. So this one was a bad one. I probably, looking at it now, these are the ones that I should have used, so this one is really what you should have gotten. But if anybody got negative 2, I'll take it.
Would the 2 or on the 2's falling down?
You talking about this one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's close. Oh, it's close, but I don't think it is. So if you got this as your answer, I'll take it. But if you got negative 2 as your answer, this one's technically not right, but I will take it because at first I thought that this was a good one. I thought that this was a good one, but I don't think so anymore. Sorry about that. All right, last one. Again, I'll take either of these answers. Those are both close. If you know what this is, it's very close to negative 2. This is negative 2.25. They're close. Okay, and then example 8. This one's got several points we could pick. Which one did you use? This one right here, okay, and then the other one where? Right there. All right, those look like the 2 I would have chosen. You could have also used this one over here. So looks like we rise 1 and then run how many? 4? And that does not reduce, so 1/4 is your answer. If anybody used these points, that would be okay. It would reduce to 1/4. This one? This one? It should, again, you would rise 1, run 4, so it'd give you the same thing, right? Okay, so this is not so hard, riding the bike without training wheels.